here, or?
Oh, no. I haven't actually said anything, and there's like 19 people waiting. So shall I just do a quick introduction then? Shall I introduce?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. So, well, actually, you know what? I think they're mostly your followers. So why don't you introduce us both?
Yeah, my pleasure, definitely. So, yeah, welcome all of you to our amazing Zoom call in this beautiful Thursday evening. For Neil, actually, I have to say massive thank you, Neil, because it's early morning, 6 o'clock, right? So good morning. Hopefully you're having your cup of tea with you, or cup of coffee. Great.
I'm having everything in my dad cup. This is a cup my daughter's brought me.
Wow.
I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is my grand. So this is D A says my middle daughter, and then D. So yeah, this is my morning wake up call today, especially coming all the way to you from the future. Don't forget, from the future. We're going to have an interesting chat. Let's see where we go today.
Yeah. Well, the reason why actually me, Mo, and well, at first, obviously, me and not Mo, why we organized this call, because lately, you know that in our company, we're having so many products and sometimes can be overwhelming. So we have data mining, we have digital devils, we have UGain, we have CIU, we have UNTB. So all these things, even myself, you know, okay, where should I start? And then we had this conversation with Neil. Like I'm talking to Neil almost every day or every other day. So I always keeping all these updates. So what I felt and what Mo felt, that maybe our partners feel exactly the same way. So some of them, they don't know where we are going. So we have all these beautiful things. So that's why we put together this this Zoom talk. Obviously, we will keep eye on it. So we're gonna, you know, I'm sure you can also ask the questions, and we will answer all of them. So and why I invited the Neil, because Neil is definitely a great person, really knowledge. So he is fully in this company. And of course, as most of the leaders in our company, Neil, why he is still here, why he's so driven, because this is our kind of massive vision. So we're not only here for this year or for next year, we are here for next year to come. And Neil wanted, and Mo wanted also give you the bigger picture, how all these products, what we are introducing in our company, are connected. And how important is, you know, all of us to stick into the UGain, the data mining, the staking, to all these things, because all is matching together. So maybe that will give you the bigger picture, and you will enjoy it. So Neil, my pleasure, and thank you so much to being here with us. Early morning for you, and for most of obviously Europe, evening, beautiful evening.
So I actually feel really good. I'm kind of pumped to be here with you guys. You know, I don't know if it's my special morning brew, or the fact that I'm up so early and I'm talking to other people on the other side of the world. You know, that kind of just vision that's like, apparently we live on a round planet, so there's two sides of the fence on whether we're round or flat. But either way, I'm over here and you guys are way over there. I'm not sure if you've seen it tonight. Well, you probably have, but from my side of the world, we've got a great big round full moon today. And I think maybe that's what I'm feeling. But there's a friend of mine, he calls me a lunatic. So maybe this is the energy that's coming through right now from the moon. But, you know, the moon and being a lunatic, maybe that's what we all are with this. We need to be a lunatic to move this thing through and what it is. But it's a nice, great, big round circle.
Crazy rule the world. How is the saying? The most craziest people, you know, can change the world, can make the difference.
Craziest people, but with a sense of humor. We always have to keep our sense of humor about us, even in the tough times that everybody's going through, and the uncertainty what's going on the planet right now. But I mean, you know, that I'm always upbeat, and my cup's always half full. I'm always looking for a reason why something's happening. And I'm looking for a good reason.
Alert and calendar, dinner.
Oh, what was that, dinner? You having dinner already?
Well, we learn in our company, in Master Profit, and all the things what we're going through, we learn, you know, to organize our time. So my laptop is being put in such a way that, you know, it's reminding me when is the dinner, when is the breakfast.
You've got to go. You've got to have dinner.
Yeah, I should have a dinner.
Do you know what? I want to, Neil, thank you so much for being here. And everyone that is watching, all 20, like there's millions of you, there's loads of you. I know there's loads of you on Facebook as well. Thank you for watching. Can you please put a round of 8s in the chat for the fact that Neil is up at 6 a.m. to join us? Put a round of 8s in the chat now. That would be amazing, right? Awesome, thank you. I mean, like, yeah. And also put, if you are confused by all of the developments that are happening right now in the company, put a C in the chat as well, just to say confusing, overwhelmed, whatever. Just put a C in the chat if you're finding it a little bit. Yeah, lots of people, right? There's enough people, right? Are you guys monitoring the chat? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see.
I've got it open, so I'm watching it. So you know, like, I'm just so excited. I just want to say, right, Neil just mentioned something about abundance, basically, because you just said your glass is always half full, right? And it's really interesting because it's like when we're all confused and just kind of like, oh my God, it's all getting overwhelming and just that's actually what I've come to understand as a testing point for the universe. And it's whether you're going to be able to just stick through it. And if you stick through it and you see what it is, then you actually penetrate through, and then life just gets so much better, right? Do you have any words to say on that, Neil or Alana?
Well, I'll start on that because you know that you hit a serious point for me, and let's expand that my cup's not only always half full, but right now, because of this opportunity in our company, it's actually overflowing already. You know, but I've, you know, if you've heard my story, you know, I've come from the bottom of the bottom of the bottom, you know, and traveled up, learned a lot, been down the rabbit hole, a lot of business opportunities that haven't worked out, and a lot of failures, and you know, coming through, and all that there has helped me. I've always got up and I've always moved forwards, but for me it's been, you know, it's my family. You know, I've showed you all my daughters on my morning mug. You know, they're here with me now, and looking to be able to provide something for them that I don't want them to have the life that I've had. You know, I don't want them to have the struggle and this, you know, where's the money coming from? That stress of that. When you understand an energy, you know, it's that stress that keeps the cup half empty, because it's that stress of money, and whether it's a credit card debt, whether it's a mortgage or that, it's sucking the living daylights out of us. It's a negative energy. It's bad flow. So when you can turn that around and be positive, and you're kind of like, so then in effect, I am that little fish swimming upstream. You know, I've been doing that the whole time. Everybody's going the other way. It's like, yeah. And it's like, but now it's got me to the, like, now I finally got up to the top of the dam, you know, and just like, wow, it's like, cool. Reminds me of that fish Nemo. The fish Nemo. Yeah. I don't know where that came from, up the top of the dam, Nemo. But what I'm getting at and where I'm going with this is that when, with the cup being half like overflowing now, and it's always been going the other direction, it's half full. But I got to a point, and with this company, that at some point I had to let something go. Well, I was forced to let something go because this company was rewarding me too well. I had to sack the government who was looking after keeping the roof over my head for me. I had to sack them because I was embarrassing. I was getting too much money. It's like, oh, okay, this isn't good. But, you know, but the thing is that I held on to that as a security button, was holding on to the government and keeping that roof over my head, that main security, keeping the roof over my head. And I'll tell you what, when I let them go, I didn't know whether the money flow was going to continue and to you know, to keep the roof over my head. So I was really just swimming, letting go of the wharf, swimming out into a storm. And like when I let it go, and I started, and I just like had faith in that my journey into the storm was going to be okay. Well, I'll tell you what, that is when my cup really started overflowing. It's like, oh my God, I'd let this something that I was holding on to go, and bang, and like the abundance that's come in from that just blows my mind. And I'll tell you what, and where that's come from. And it's come from, and it gets us right to the beginning of today's story, is when we launched the CryptoUnit program. It's like, boom, oh my God. It just, when you put everything together that this company is about at that point, what we launched was the main cog of our company and our organization, and the, you know, the glue, I guess what's attached to the cog and the main glue is our portfolio.
Yeah.
That those two, and the combination of that there, and the education, you know, to me the number one rule, which is always to pay ourselves first. So long as that number one rule is never broken, our cog is always going to turn. Our portfolio is always going to get bigger. So that CRU program is just like what 90% of the people on this planet have been looking for. So, no, so what we're going to talk about today is, yes, the cog. But then often this, and when I say cog, you understand this little thing that turns every day. It turns like the clock, like the cog on a clock, or the spigot, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to talk about the other spigots that we're adding on to that, that contribute to making this whole thing go to what the bigger vision is. So we're back to this big round moon this morning, this round circle, and all this little, all the energy that's coming into the circle, and what it represents, which is the new economic evolution of the world. You know, so we'll kind of take you through that whole process this morning and help you fit it all together, because it does all fit together. And yeah, as you can see, I'm quite energized at talking this morning, so I won't take up the whole screen. If that makes sense to what I'm saying, thanks for listening to my little bit of a story, but it kind of sets the motion on where we're going with this whole thing to help you guys understand the bigger picture and how it's all fitting together. Just put, I love 8, so just throw an 8 into the chat so that you can, so I know that you're listening, so that I know that I can hear you from all the way around here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
8 is the best number, and 8 8s is even better.
Oh, numerology.
I'll tell you, I tell you what, talking about numerology, that's one of the things that I absolutely love about Andre as well, because the fact that he's very much into, it's not just Andre, it's reflected through all of the leadership, including yourself, including both of you actually. But you know, it's because I was talking to someone the other day, and I was saying, you know what, if you're having trouble getting people to communicating, just because it's such a big thing to communicate, just invite people to a call and let them see who the leaders are in this company, because there's something about our vibe which is just different, right? And you know, like I love both of you. I love both of your energy. I love Andre's energy. I love Armand's and Mila, and you know, just all of the leadership in this company. And you know, and guys, put love hearts or something in the chat if you love the vibe in this company, because it is just what we stand for. I just want to touch on what we stand for, the things that are in our portfolio, as well as the education, Hi, Stephen, thank you. And thank you guys that are putting the hearts. Thank you. What we stand for in this company, as well as financial education, which is we're educating people that they don't need to have a job or be self-employed to make an income. They can have a business and they can have investments to make income, right? We're educating them on that. But on top of that, the stuff that we teach works. That's why the portfolio is there and it's always going to grow, right? But the thing is, the things that we're buying in the portfolio, this is where I got really excited when I finally understood after like 6 Ugain training sessions, I worked out what Ugain really actually can do, right? And for me, I realized, okay, right, so we all know the digital doubles. Guys, if you like digital doubles, put a DD in the chat, okay? But also put whether you have activated it or not, because we need you to activate it. So put GDPR in the chat if you are scared of GDPR, okay? So I know lots of people are, and I might even explain this in a bit. But if you have not activated it, put not activated, okay? So, but the thing is, digital doubles, that's gonna disrupt Facebook, right? It's gonna disrupt that whole kind of social media marketing industry. Harry, I'm gonna talk to you. Thank you for being honest. But Ugain, right? So if we're going to like destroy social media marketing, right? Guess what Ugain's gonna do? Do you know all those businesses that have basically killed the high street, right? All the businesses that have destroyed the high street shops, right? That is the Amazons, that's the Ubers, that's all of these, like all of these types, you know, Just Eat or Uber Eats or, you know, that kind of thing, right? They're destroying the high street. They're destroying people that actually have businesses. But guess what? Guess what Ugain's gonna do? Guess what Ugain can disrupt? Do you see what I mean? We're taking the freaking power back, right? That's what I think. What do you guys think?
I can talk all morning, Elena, but I don't want to step on you. Ladies first, always ladies first.
No, definitely the vision what Andre Horato decided to use data mining and Ugain. So definitely use it and definitely look deeper inside. So that's why we're having a call for you to understand the bigger picture, because end of the day it's all about to build the community within in a new economical evolution of the world. But before obviously before we start, I always love to as well talk from the heart, and I really love Neil's story. If that's okay, I can tell. We have all these beautiful beautiful products, beautiful you know, opportunities. But the most important thing, what I always believe, is that believe yourself, and believe there can be bigger things. Because I was talking another day with one of my friends, and I was telling, like, we can give all this education, we can give all this information, all these opportunities, but if you don't believe yourself, if you don't believe there can be bigger things, you're not going to go there. Like, so for me, before Neil obviously start telling everything, you need to believe yourself, then you can live better life. It's the same like Neil life being changed financially and obviously spiritually. It's the same for me, but because I believed, because I work on it, because I was doing the education. So the first, obviously, start with yourself, and Neil and more definitely going to give you the bigger picture. Just believe, trust the plan. Whatever we do, we are making for our community, for our people, so we can make 15-30% people, you know, who are in this community, and we can live the life, not just only survive.
Yeah, that's you know, when I'm speaking from that, I mean, how look, I just speak and I share this, and the more that I speak, you know, my heart just starts pumping. You know, when you understand this company to the core and the vision of where we're going, and then you understand, you know, the global situation, and like everybody's just well, there's still a lot of people that don't truly understand what's going on. And, you know, right now, and there's so much like fear in the world right now. And while we're in fear, you know, there's a whole monetary mechanism that's there's this whole, it's called the Great Awakening, and it's the Great Awakening, but it's also the world's biggest transfer of wealth going on at the same time. So they kind of get you looking one way, and there's something else going on over here. So it's like, there's so many mechanisms, and this is all parts of the cog that make the current world function in the way that it's functioning today, which right now there's probably over 70% of the world's population going, there's something clearly not right here. There's just something, there's something wrong. And it's those people that are sitting there, those are the people that are sitting at home that only have one income stream. They only have one income stream. And if they've got two, it's because they're either doing two jobs or their partner's going to do, or they've got four, but they're having to work, you know, if you remember back, you know, 50 years ago, that only one person had to go to work. It was the father. Mum stayed home and looked after the kids and did the house cleaning and had dinner ready. And, you know, it was happy families back then. All us kids, we'd be outside and we'd come home, you know, when the sun went down, or the street lights came on, we knew that we had to get home. You know, now today's society is completely different. You know, we're working just to keep the roof over our heads. So something big is happening. And then when you look at what this is, and well, I guess my understanding of what's going on, and then understanding what this platform is, it really just, it's kind of like we're going to help move this whole thing forward. It's almost like we're on a parallel. And, you know, the parallel is we're so aligned in the future where we're going to actually, I guess I call it, be that light at the end of the tunnel for those people that are sitting at home right now going, oh my God, is that a train coming at me? Is that a train, that light down the end? Is that a train? Like, it's no, what's coming is the golden age. So I'll just quickly snip to the end of where we'll end up here today is our Eventi 2020 coming up in October. You need to make sure that you're ready for that, because you'll see just what that light is. And yeah, it's like boom. But you know where this whole thing is going and the bigger picture, and like it's just mind blowing. So these other mechanisms that we'll talk about today that Andre's been introducing, there are other income streams. So the CRU is an income stream, but it's not just one, it's multiple income streams. And then as we add on the data mining, which is already there, and boy, is that doing so well already. Make sure you're on this weekend summary meeting, because you'll get some more updates on what's going on there. But we're already over 1 million within sort of 6 weeks in with a small amount. But when we would come back to being on a parallel and where things going, you know, when Andre launched the CryptoUnit program, his goal was to have 1 million people in within 12 months. And we're like, oh, how's that going to happen? Like, you're crazy. It's not going to happen. Yeah. And then here we were, you know, 12 months in, and bang. Well, I mean, I think 6 days. We were 6 days into the beginning of this year in January, and we hit the 1 million mark. It's like, wow, how cool was that? 1 million people, like Andre put it out there. We're going to do that. We all kind of rolled our eyes and yeah, right. And then bang, it happened. Did Andre know how it was going to happen before he said it? Or did it happen because he said it? But then we come into phase 2 of this program, and Andre says we're going to have 10 million people in by Christmas. It's like, wow, how is that going to happen? How is that going to happen? And then bang, here we have data mining. Now, when you understand the ability of data mining, you know, within the next 18 to 24 months, we will be able to have in our data pool, our database, over 1 billion people. 1 billion people. Now you think about that, it's like, wow, that's cool, because now that's starting to align more with the bigger vision. The bigger vision, you know, so that we can make this change, and on the parallel that we're on to make effective change is to have more people in our organization. So to have a database of over 1 billion people within the next 18 to 24 months is like, wow, that's cool. This tool can do it. And we're already over 1 million in that journey within the last 6 weeks. So it's like, cool. And then you look at, and the next part we'll talk about after that will be the U game. It's like, oh my God. Now that I can clearly see that by the end of the year, when we launch that and get it up and running, that we will have over 10 million people in this organization. I project even more. And if you just look at where we're at now, I think we're around the 1.5 million. And like, here we are in September. It's like, really? Are we really going to have 10 million people in here by Christmas? Well, I don't know. But if you're sitting here watching this, I hope you've got a seatbelt on your chair, because you need to pull that over and start buckling in, because this is where it's going. And what's coming on the other end, and this we all have watched the presentation, and you will all understand Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, right? And everybody that we're talking to here, if you're not already on the right side where I've managed to get to already with this company, but what's about to happen in the summer, not only in the summary meeting, but in our first 6th birthday, jeepers, I'm running out of numbers. 6th birthday is literally, I think you'll see the gates are open. The gates will be opened to the real future. And when you understand, sorry, I'm hogging the screen. Sorry, guys. But when you understand, you know, we're growing up and we're fighting over the 10% that's on the left-hand side of Robert's cash flow quadrant. We're fighting over that. We think that our lawyers and accountants and all these higher level educated people, and if you're watching this, I love you guys and we need you greatly. But, you know, if you're watching this, that means you're still trading your time, and it means you've probably got a bigger debt than the rest of us, you know, so you're still working. And we're scrapping over that 10% that we're all fighting for or working for. But what's truly on the right-hand side is the type of wealth that you just cannot imagine. It is massive, it's huge, which is why Andre has started this whole thing and put the importance on the education. Because what's coming is right-hand side wealth beyond anything that you can imagine. And you're gonna need to know that education so you can manage it. And we can manage it, have all our own desires and everything that we've been dreaming about, that to the point where we start putting back and creating or fixing all the damage that's been done over the last 100 years. Mm. It's just so exciting. Look, I've just got myself so excited just talking about it. It doesn't take much to get me there these days.
I think you've got all of us excited. Guys, put in a capital, and then put a bunch of 8s in the chat, more 8s in the chat, for how excited you are and how piped up Neil's got you. I got to say, because it's true, I do feel like the world economy is in such a sick place right now, and what we have is a cure, and all we have to do is give people the cure. That's it. And I was hoping, if it's all right, may I share my screen just to talk a little bit about digital doubles and data mining? There were some people that said they haven't activated it yet, so I want to encourage you. I want to show you why you know how it fits in, and why it's good, and why it's no threat to you whatsoever. Okay, so guys, do I have permission to do that? May I do that?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, cool. So right, I just prepared this one recently. So look, we've got a thing that is it's called data mining. It's basically 2 things. There's data mining and there's digital doubles. Guys, can you all see my screen? Put a Y in the chat if you can see my screen. So yeah, okay, awesome. Okay, great. So data mining is basically a thing. It's an AI. It doesn't actually. So a lot of people are really worried about. They're worried about GDPR, right? So they're worried about things like. So yeah, let's start with LinkedIn. Okay, so who joins LinkedIn? People that want a professional network. And they basically, it's a place to put your CV, advertise yourself for professional opportunities like jobs, headhunting talent, and professional networking. Okay, people consensually put their information into LinkedIn, and they'll put in details such as their name, photo, email address, education history, career history, stuff that they're interested in professionally. Okay, and they might do this because they want to be headhunted for a job, or they want to look good, they want to be able to refer someone to their LinkedIn profile. Okay, but either way, all of this stuff is data that they have consensually, the key is consent, they've consensually stored on LinkedIn. Okay, now what happens if LinkedIn now want to sell this data to a third party and make money? Okay, so if they do it without consent, then actually it triggers a warning flag. Okay, because these people, they consented to share their data with LinkedIn for the purposes of professional networking. They haven't consented to have their data sold to, for example, Facebook or something. Okay, so the law basically is a potential issue, which is GDPR, which is the data protection thing. But look, it's only a problem if it's reported. This is the difference between a risk and an issue. Okay, so guys, put a Y in the chat if you are following. Put an N in the chat if I am losing you. Okay, and I'm sorry to people on Facebook. We're not monitoring on Facebook. But okay, there's a whole bunch of Y's coming in. Okay, Tara Becker has put an N. Okay, Tara, do you want to just clarify what's the thing that you're not understanding? If you just type it in the chat, that'd be amazing. Okay, so basically GDPR is about data protection. So it's about protecting people's data. So these people, they've shared their data for the purposes of professional networking. Okay, they haven't shared their data with any other party. So if LinkedIn were to sell that data without permission, with no consent, okay, then they would, right? Okay, what if it's not being reported? Ah, brilliant, excellent. Okay, I'm getting to this. Right, okay. So that's excellent. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I was clearly going there. So that's awesome. Thank you, Tara. Thank you. So basically, only if it's reported does it become an actual problem, an actual issue. Before that, it's just a risk that it's going to be a problem. Okay, and every risk comes with a probability that it's likely to happen or not. Okay, so if it's not likely to happen, then the risk is actually quite minor. But if it's 100% definitely going to happen, then it's pretty much already, in fact, if it's 100%, then it has happened. Okay, so it is an issue and it's a real problem. But until it's actually happened, there's only a probability that it can happen. It's not actually happened yet. Okay, so the trick is, how do you reduce this to zero? Okay, and that's what we have a product for. Okay, so I hope that's a little bit clearer. So this is how it all works. Okay, data mining is the first thing. It's not actually gathering any data. It is looking through all of these LinkedIn profiles, not just all. Thank you, Dana. Not all of these LinkedIn. Well, you know, I mean, so look, you've got my face here as well as a whole bunch of other people's faces. Okay, so consider that each of these people have various social media profiles. Not everyone has just one social media profile. You've got LinkedIn. We've started with LinkedIn, but ultimately we're going, you know, they're talking about Facebook, they're talking about VK, they're talking about TikTok, they're talking about WeChat, they're talking about so many different social medias. And in fact, actually, put in the chat, type in the chat, just have a little think. How many social media things have you got? Have you got Facebook? Have you got LinkedIn? Have you got, just put a number in the chat to say how many LinkedIn networks you have. Oh, sorry, how many network marketing not network marketing, how many, you know what I mean, social media things you've got. Okay, exactly, right? You've all got multiple, and most people do, right? So look at this. All this does, it doesn't actually gather any data. So remember, people, this becomes a real problem. The real issue is if LinkedIn were to share any actual data. But no one is actually sharing any data here. Our data mining product is literally just looking through the windows of our social media profiles and just saying, okay, so you've got X amount of things, right? And then all it does is it's literally just firing out little message saying, hey, looks like we've got something in common. Let's, you know, would you like to connect? Okay. So it, you know, it's firing off an automatic message just saying, hey, do you want to connect? It's not coming from a robot. It's coming from your account. So it's not coming from a fake account, it's coming from your account. Okay. Aditayo, I can't take your question other than if you put it in the chat, and I'm monitoring the chat. So if you want to type your question in the chat, I'm happy to, you know, if we can answer it, we'll answer it. Okay.
The question is, how can I change my life? Carry on watching. We're changing your life here today.
We are changing your life here today. Okay, so check this out, right? All it does, hey, would you like to connect? Okay, and this is me having, it's basically a remote me having a real conversation. The next thing that I do is I'm just going to have a real conversation with the guy. I'm going to invite him to a meeting, and then I'm going to make, I'm hopefully going to make a sale out of him, right? There is no risk. Remember, risks and issues. There is no risk that this guy is going to report me or report LinkedIn for GDPR. There's no probability that's going to happen. As far as he's concerned, he's just had someone say, hey, do you want to connect? Okay, put a Y in the chat if you understand. Okay, put a Y in the chat if you understand. Okay. Thank you. And I'll do a little YouTube video of this, so look out for it. So no reason to worry about GDPR on data mining. But this is where it gets really interesting. Put an N in the chat if you're still not really buying it. Okay? Okay.
Really love this match.
So thank you. So look, our objective is to get 10 million people into this mega brain, because when that happens, something amazing is going to happen. Okay, digital doubles. Okay, this is the second part. So at 10 million people, oh, by the way, I just want to caveat, I have no relationship with digital doubles whatsoever. I'm not on the team or anything. I'm just communicating what I understand. So if I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty certain I'm not wrong. And by the way, guys, Neil and Alina, if you think that I've got something wrong, then just interrupt and tell me, right? And
you're doing good. You're doing good. Carry on.
Cool. Okay, so digital doubles, right? This will be launched at 10 million. So once we got 10 million people, we've already got about 1 million in the network that have been mined already. That's correct, isn't it, Neil?
Yes.
So we've already got about 1 million that have been mined already, right? When we get to 10 million, then this is what happens, right? They're going to switch on the actual digital double itself, this robot that's coming through the screen, okay? This is going to be a conversation that it's an AI that is going to learn to have successful conversations, and it will be based on your script. The key important thing here to understand is it's not just going to fire out an advert. It's not going to spam people. It's going to say, hey, would you like to connect? Oh, great, we connected. I like your profile. I like your profile too. Oh, great. Maybe we should have a chat about something. Okay, great, let's do that. And so it's a very natural conversation. And then ultimately, so this is what happens. They're going to click on a link to find out more. Okay. And then that's going to lead to whatever you like. It's going to lead to your landing page or a sales funnel or your Calendly link or a presentation like tonight or something. And all it's going to do is it's going to generate loads of passive income. But I'll talk about that in a second because we're going to get onto passive income. So look, the digital double reaches out through the 10 million mega brain. It navigates the conversation for you. It takes a cold lead, which is the people that are on your LinkedIn profile that have connected with you, and it turns them into warm leads. Okay, they don't know anything about your product yet until they come on a call. Okay, but they're warm and they have a vague idea, okay, of who you are. So look, is there a risk of being reported for GDPR? Probably not, because the thing looks like you the whole time. Okay, there's no data that's been extracted. So remember, we're not taking any data from LinkedIn. We're not gathering people's personal data. We're not even spamming them. We're just having a conversation with them. Just it's happening by remote control, if you like, right? So look, the lead is clicking through because they want to click through, okay? You have their full consent. So there isn't any reason to worry about GDPR. Put a Y in the chat if you, put an H in the chat if you are happy, or a smiley face or something, or put an unhappy face in the chat if you're not happy, okay? A you or an unhappy face, okay? Thank you, Tara. I'm glad that I got you. Awesome, awesome. Okay, lots of happy faces. How cool is that? That's awesome, right? Guys, okay, passive income. Can we talk about passive income, Neil? Is that right?
Yeah, Neil can, I think Neil, yeah.
You go.
No, you're good, Mo. I mean, you know, everybody, here's the thing in changing people's lives, and the information is great. And when you understand the information, like when it comes to doing a presentation, and it's like, people just show me the money, just show me the money, you know, because this is the part that we understand it's going to help move us in the right direction to changing our lives. And this mechanism, and I was on the fence at first with data mining. You know, I'm like, oh, AI, this whole thing. And Mo, you've done a great job in explaining that. But the thing is, and to keep it sort of short and simple, just in the head, it's like, it's not a robot. When you do your data mining, basically you're giving it the ability to actually speak on your behalf, and it's speaking on your behalf while you're asleep, you know. Like, I've had a LinkedIn program, a LinkedIn account for probably over 10 years. And when we first started this, I mean, over 10 years, I think I've got up to about 1,200 people, 1,200 people. And, you know, I'd just tutu with it here and tutu with it there, and I'd get my profile right. And every time I changed my job or whatever I was doing, you know, then everybody in my group would see, in my connections would see it, and some would congratulate me and all those sorts of things. So I found a way to connect with them was actually just updating my profile all the time. And like, if I had 12 or 13 views a month on my file, I thought, wow, that's so cool. You know, it's so cool. People are looking at my profile. And then when we launched the data mining, it's like, jeepers, this thing just went, and I'm not sure if you've got a graph to show, Mo, but my graph just kind of went, it just went straight up. And it's like, now here I am, 6 weeks on. So let's put it like this, 10 years to get 1,200 people. Now here we are, 6 weeks in with data mining. I've got over 2,300 people as connections. They're connections. Now, I haven't had the time to do that myself. My data mining has done it on my behalf and introduced me or introduced me to other people out there. And it does it 24/7. So all it's doing for me right now is getting more connections for me on LinkedIn, which I can have 30,000 of. So the data mining, and I'm not sure if you've been watching Andrew Hawks and Harin and I, you know, we do a few lives and bits and pieces. But for me, everybody knows about an onion, you know, and the layers of an onion. So the data mining, this is just one segment. So if you look at the CryptoUnit program and the cogs around the CryptoUnit program, there's layers upon layers upon layers that you're going to start seeing rolling out. Well, the data mining is one of those layers. But then again, the data mining is also a product that has in many layers of itself. So what you're seeing is just the first layer where we're actually creating the database that we can then start talking to. And I've been a part of some of the next layer that's coming out. That is so exciting with the technology and the mindset, the bigger vision of this company. It is huge, and I do, you know,
wait to be involved in those conversations. I want to be involved in those conversations.
Well, but they're coming. They're coming. You know, get a hold of Marshall there in the UK. He'll certainly talk to you about what's going on. And so, so once we have the database, and here on your screen here is you know how you can see that you'll see the database growing in front of your eyes. But what they're doing is creating the tools where we can start talking to the database, you know, and 24/7. So even while we're sleeping, we're going to have the tools to communicate with that database, who is also, who is also part of the consumer society. They all need to eat, they all need to drink, and there's all sorts of things that they want to buy on a regular basis. So we're going to be able to talk to them about that on a daily basis, 24/7 around the clock while we're sleeping. So get to the money, Neil. Get to the money. Where's the money? You know, as we build this database, here's the goal with this. Yes, we can mine 1 billion people in the next probably 12 to 24 months. Now, Facebook has over 2 billion people, so they're the biggest database on the planet. We're not going to stop at 1 billion. We're going to keep mining with this until we get over 3 billion is our first goal. And then we're not going to stop there. We're going to get on, we're going to go to 4 million, 5 million, 6 million. Maybe we might even get to 7 billion. Right? Did I say million? I meant billion, right? We meant billion. So when we have that many people in our database and we're able to communicate with them, and here's the thing with AI, it's like we're in control of our AI. We can talk to all of them at the push of a button, which will basically, we can talk to them about any products, goods and services, or we can actually put that good energy out around the planet. That good energy, that uplifting energy that people need to hear on a regular basis, so that we can collectively come together for the right reasons to do good by everything. So this is like, wow, this could be the best social media platform in the world that encompasses Facebook, Google, Amazon, you name it, all in one platform where we're all aligned correctly for the right reasons. It is so exciting as to where this is going. So what you're seeing right now is just the first layer of all these other things still to come out. There's so much exciting thinking with this company, and they've already got sort of test stuff happening. So watch this space for sure.
So beautiful. Alina, you got to say something.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Like I must agree with the LinkedIn account. For me, it's the same. I just went to my LinkedIn account, and literally I have like 20-30 people a day constantly, and I have also notification on my email. So every single day I got email notification from LinkedIn. So you really well explained, Neil. It's second me who is. It's nothing like it's just second me. I'm doing my own things, but I have constantly all the people coming into my space. So it's definitely huge.
Can I refresh my thing to show people this thing going up? Yeah. So can you see that I've got 817 contacts right now, guys? Type 817 if you can see that. Oh, look, that's a pair of eights, really. So type, yeah, thank you, Stephen. Awesome, right? So look, this is what I'm going to do. And Stephen, I think you said that you haven't activated it yet. So do you want to just write in the chat why you haven't activated it yet? And if it was just because you weren't confident, are you confident now? Okay. So I'm going to click the refresh button and have a look at this. 9 hours ago, I refreshed this. So now it's going to cycle through. Oh, come on. Let's go. Yeah, okay. So it's cycling through, and keep a look on that number and look at this. It will go up, hopefully, by a few. Hopefully by a few. Let's see. Oh, only by a couple. Okay. But this morning, it went up from about 740 something, and I did it in a day. I probably did like about 40 in a day or something for me. There is a thing at the moment. Oh, where's the thing about the where do you get the graph? Do you guys know where you get the graph?
Yeah, if you go into my network, go to my network.
My network.
That's fine. Just while you're looking for, I'm just answering to some couple people answers.
Okay.
If you click on connections.
Connections.
Yeah.
People don't know, but it's.
Hang on.
I shouldn't say that way.
Go to the home.
Okay. It's all getting garbled. Elena, you go first.
No, I just noticed obviously people are saying they don't know, they maybe don't activate it. Like, only my recommendation is just plug in any single webinar or presentation what we do. Take your paper and pen, write it down, and really digest in this information, because not knowing or not doing is not gonna free you, from this amazing, product to be part of it. It's definitely huge. It's just maybe go back, or Stephen, listen again what Neil or Mo's saying, or go back to recorded webinar and really digesting. I'm saying this because I'm not a English speaking person. For me, it takes a time to understand. Even Neil knows, I always, or more, I call, okay, I didn't understand that. So I have to go 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th time just to go through to really digest this information, understand how big it is. So it's understandable if you don't know, but if you really want to know, then go into all these webinars and listen and try to understand, definitely.
The thing that motivates them to really understand and to get their head around how to make this work, because the bigger database that you have, and the sooner that you get that database, you're part of the global, we're building a database collectively together. So our data mining is functioning for us, but it's functioning for everybody at the same time and creating like a mega brain. And so that's all collected in there. So as you become part of the pool, and we start marketing and finding ways to sell to that pool. And to give you an example, let's use Nike as an example. This is Rita Ashton's data mining presentation. She does a great job of it. She's got some good stuff out there, but she uses Nike as an example. So we go to Nike. So look, do you want to run a promotion? We've got a database of 1 billion people. They go, wow, yeah, that's cool. Let's go. So we'll negotiate a price, and we'll get our marketing team, and then we'll put a marketing plan together for them, or together. So so let's say they've got a pair of Nike shoes that are normally $200, and we're going to run a marketing campaign for $100. So then we market. So we set the marketing campaign up and going it'll probably be through our digital double or how the platform is set up at that point in time. So just do the math in your head. So 1 billion people get to see an opportunity where they can buy a pair of Nike shoes for $100, so 50% off. So the math is that 10% of that 1 billion people will actually click and go and have a look at what we're talking about. Now then so 10%. So then we have then the math from that is that 1%, well then, so 10% of 1 billion is 100 million. So then we have 1% of that 100 million will then go and buy the shoes. Well, that's really cool. I want a pair. So that 1% has just put, which is 1 million. has just gone and purchased a pair of shoes for $100. So 1 million times $100 is $1 billion. Literally, with the push of a button, that takes probably a couple of minutes to reach 1 billion people. It might take 24 hours for them to go and open up that and have a look and go through that process. So Nike, within the space of putting that whole marketing plan together, has just created $1 billion worth of sales through our marketing plan, through reaching just 1 billion. Now you imagine if when it's 2 billion, 3 billion, 4 billion, and so on, that now the goal, and when we start marketing that, is that it's not just, we're not just going to run one thing with Nike once a week. You know, we're going to be running different marketing campaigns, probably 7 a day, for different companies in different areas around the world, which is what Facebook do, which is what all these other platforms are doing anyway, when you see that. So it's like, wow, now where's that for you? So we negotiate with Nike what we're going to get out of that from using our database. And not only that, but we're also going to negotiate maybe a small percentage from the profits of the sale. Now, with your database and the bigger database that you have, then, and let's say people within your database have gone and brought some of the shoes, you get to keep 80% of the sales, of the profits that come from your database. And let's say you're brand new, and we've got people in here that are brand new and haven't even opened, activated their data mining. The sooner you do that, the better. But even if you're brand new and you've just started it, you'll still get a share of 20% of the profits. So even if you haven't started building your data, started it going, you're still going to get a share of 20%. So you start doing the math on this as we go and go and go and grow. Now, it's not going to be big money at the beginning. But as we start growing and our consumer society starts building and interacting with us, that income can start off at anywhere at $50, right up to $50,000 a month. It's just crazy numbers. It's like, oh my God, that is another income stream. That is income stream probably number 4 or 5 within what we're talking about here today. And it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, when we move on to the U game, you think about our data mining, talking to everybody about our U game project. Everybody that has a merch, that buys coffee or has a coffee shop, all want more customers, or they want cheap, good discounted quality coffee. That is the consumer society that we can tap into through using our data mining tools as well. It is so exciting when you think about these, I guess what we're now talking about is the bigger layers of the company, of our cog, and how we're coming together so that we can get to the people, build our consumer society, and start creating it. Our whole cash flow starts working in amongst ourselves. I'm not sure if you've got the slide up, or if you've got some other things you want to add in here, Mo.
I haven't actually got the data mining, so I haven't got the U-gain stuff down yet. That's coming when I manage to work it, when I manage to work out how to represent it. But what I do know is there's 3 actors in the U-gain system, right? There's you, the promoter, who's going to sell U-gain to shops. Then there's the business owners, the shops themselves. And then there's also the customers, the end users of those shops, right? And then everyone, there's routes for passive income for everyone in this system, right? Can you clarify what those are, Neil? I have a feeling you probably know, you're probably better able to do that than I am.
Well, I guess you're still on, I guess, but without going too much further, you've got the screen up. So did you want to discuss what you've got on the screen here?
Oh, right. Okay, sure. Okay, so yeah, okay. Right. Where did we all start, right? We all started with, hey, the crew, right? The crew, wouldn't it be amazing if you could if you could get this thing, and if the portfolio becomes worth $100 trillion, right? Then how much would a crew be worth if there's 80 billion crew? And again, you can do the maths. If you take 100 trillion, that's 100 with 12 zeros after it. and divide it by 80 billion CRU tokens, right, you'll get $1,250 per CRU. Okay. And then Andre originally said that he would quite like the passive income for it to be between $1 to $50 a year per token, but paid monthly, obviously. So you divide that by 12 and you get a monthly payment. So if you have 10, you know, that's what your thing is. If you have 100, that's what your things are. If you have 100,000, and 100,000 is a key figure, by the way, guys. If you have 100,000, then look, you could be sitting on $125 million fortune that is bringing you a passive income of like up to $5 million a year, okay? Which is amazing. And there's a reason why 100K is a good number, okay? I don't know, you know, I mean, you have to, right, everyone, I need you to understand, Andre says stuff and he is a master of dreams realization. He's not predicting the future. He's just spelling out a vision. If it doesn't happen, that's okay. We might only do half of that, okay? We might only do a 1/10 of that. So, you know, don't just because I'm giving you numbers, don't think they're promises. Nothing is a promise. This is just what we are all hoping that it goes to. And yeah,
let me clarify there, because you're using the word if and you're using the word hope. Here's the thing. You know, our number one rule is to always pay ourselves first, 10%, right? So that number one rule, and you just think about yourselves individually and you're listening to this, you know, if you had started applying 10% of your whatever you earn when you started the workforce, and you knew where to put that, what would that be worth today? You know, it would be worth far more than than what you're doing right now with your job. But we haven't been educated enough to do that. But you've just kind of had a wow moment. If I'd only done that and started that 20 years ago, you actually wouldn't be in this room now because you're already set. You know how to have your money work and you're on your way. Now, that same principle is applied to our portfolio. And it's not 10%, it's 40%. So it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when you understand what's in our portfolio. So Andre has got a goal, a work plan here on how this thing rolls out. And his projection is within the next 4 to 8 years that we will reach that $100 trillion capitalized value. That's the capitalized value. So if you think, so understanding capitalized value, right now, our portfolio is worth over $470 million, right? Now, if you think about it, that's the capitalized value. But what we actually spend to get that value is only about 65 million, right? So when you look at this chart that Mo's got here right now, for it to have a capitalized value of 100 trillion, we probably only need to have actually spent 10 trillion and have 10 trillion in assets, you know, for spending on those assets to actually create that value. So it's not as big a task as those numbers might make you think. And it's like, wow, this is really cool because these are the values. What you've got as a crypto unit program is called the golden goose, or the goose that lays the golden eggs. You know, and the golden eggs is the green column, which is the income that will come off of those. Now that's just the CRU. That's just the CRU, as you're all probably aware. We're now moving through and we move on to our blockchain, which is so close to just going bang, that we now start being introduced to the UNTB, our utility token. But it's like, wow, what's coming? It's coming. You know, you just have to be patient and you be prepared to play the long game. What's really, really exciting though is everybody's sort of been looking at, yeah, when we get to the market, I can look to sell some of my CRU because it's going to help with some of my immediate, you know, debts and stuff like that. No, you know, what Andre's done is the ability, and here we go here, who to stake, you know, what to stake, but the ability
why to stake, yeah.
Oh, it's huge, but you know, but never sell, you know, if you sell a CRU, it's like selling an income stream. You know, it's like you're selling the goose. You're selling the goose that lays the golden eggs. Don't ever do that. What that is your legacy. That is the legacy that you're creating. That's the ability to create an income so that you can live the life of your dreams, but it's going to still be there and growing when you pass it on, when you pass it on to your future generations. That's legacy. That is what Andrew Hawke says it beautifully. When we die twice. The first time is when we leave our body and we have that initial, you know, mourning process with all our families and everybody gathering around there. But the second time we die is when they stop saying our name, when they stop speaking our name. When you look at what you have here today with our CryptoUnit program and the future wealth that's going to come from that is just mind-blowing. There's a family in the UK there, is the Stevenson family. Their great-great-great-great-grandfather built British Rail. That family today earns billions of dollars in royalties, and they don't have to work because of a decision that one man made 5 generations ago. This is the same thing. The equivalent of the CRU is the same thing. It's generational wealth that you are creating for future generations. Don't ever sell those CryptoUnit those CryptoUnit points, because the other mechanisms, the other layers of the onion are going to enable you to live the life on your terms and actually even make that asset pool even bigger and bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's huge. It's huge. Just give me 8s there. You just understood what I was saying there. Give me 8s.
Actually, me and Mo yesterday, we had a beautiful call. Me and Mo actually, not Mo, sorry, Neil was going through the calculation. The calculation.
Do the calculation.
I thought you were going to. Were you crying when we were going through that? You were really emotional.
I was literally crying. Yeah, I was. The numbers, what I saw, what we can get each of us by the staking and the value when the UNTB is, it's huge.
Do it. Do the calculation. Everyone wants to know the calculation.
Well, I mean, I can take you through the calculation here. So if you all know, get your phones out and just get a piece of paper out and know how many CRU points that you've got. Now,
guys, put a round of OMGs in the chat if you want the calculation, okay?
When you understand the calculation and you understand, I guess, the next layer of the onion that we're talking about here is where I mean, if we go back to the beginning, and like I've been involved for 3.5 years, and in that 3.5 years, I've seen like Andre started really seriously building the platform. You know, we're building a structure like bigger than the Empire State Building, or bigger than Big Ben, you know, or Westminster Abbey. It's bigger than that, you know. It's just huge. And so we've spent 3.5 years building this solid foundation to build a structure on top of. And you know, we're getting ready to well, the structure is being built now, but it has such a solid foundation. And so this is just going to go up and up and up and up and up to our benefit. Before I get into that calculation, there's something just jumps to mind that I want to share with you. You know, if you look at the existing global economy and how it functions, when we all went into lockdown, they put us into lockdown, all the stock markets crashed.
Yeah.
They crashed. They went crazy. Here in New Zealand, it's called KiwiSaver. The KiwiSaver went down. And what really excited me with this company is that our portfolio went up. Ours was the only portfolio that I knew of in the world that was going up, and everybody else's was going down. And
we quadrupled. Yeah.
Oh, it was just crazy. You know, everybody, the rest of the world's going, what's going on? What's going on? It's like Chicken Little's running around, you know, the sky's falling in, you know. And this, I think Chicken Little, be careful how I use those words, is still out there saying that the sky's falling down. Well, not under our roof, it's not. We're going up and up and up and up. It's just crazy what's going on with this. But what I wanted to say is that if you look at that current model that's out there, it's the pyramid model. So everybody's working. The money's going up the chain, and out. You know, if you look at all the companies in the top 1,000 companies, they're pretty much owned by that 10%, and probably, in all honesty, 1 or 2% of the people that control this whole mechanism, this whole pyramid structure. And I was listening to Mila the other week and on a mentor call, and she was saying that the goal of our investment department is to actually own over 50% of the companies in our portfolio. So if you think about us, so we all own the portfolio together. We all own, so to own 50% or 51% means it gives us the controlling factor. As the controlling factor, as we build our portfolio and our internal economy, we're in control of it. So there's no money going out the top and disappears. It stays in our economy and it's circulating round in amongst us. Money is an energy that's meant to flow. And this model flows for us, not out and gone into Neverland, but flows for us to make it bigger and better, bigger and better, bigger and better, bigger and better. And within this is our little layers of onions, and you know, we just help to get it bigger and better, bigger and better. So what we want to share with you now is that calculation, so that you can see. We're saying, don't sell the CRU. Don't sell the CRU. That's your golden goose that lays the eggs. So yeah, but I need the money. Yeah, I need the money. Okay, in comes UNTB. Woohoo! Here we go. You know, UNTB is another mechanism, and just keep this in the back of your head. And when you go to your back office and you look at that UNTB, or our CryptoUnit platform and the blockchain platform, you'll notice that you can stake the CRU. Everybody's getting excited about staking, and we can stake 100% of our CRU, our locked and our unlocked ones. That was like gold. That was one of the biggest highs of the company so far this year in 2020, being able to stake that. Now, just in the future, think that when you look at that page, you'll see that you'll be able to stake UNTB as well. But that's another conversation after. But let's understand UNTB now. If you take your CRU crypto unit points and you divide that by 1,000. Now that 1,000, I now want you, that will give you a number, which you now will go to that. So that the result of that. So Alina, give me your number. Is it your number, or Mo, if you want to share? So we just work it on, let's say you work it on, let's work it on that 100,000, Mo. You said that 100,000 was
yeah,
a magic.
Yeah, 100,000, right?
Yeah. So we go 100,000 divided by 1,000 is 100, right? Okay then. And then so 100 times 40 equals what? 40,000?
100 times 40 is 100 times 40 is 4,000. 40,000, yeah, 40,000, yeah. Well, that's not the calculator, right? So 100. Oh, but actually, do you want to do it on a calculator on screen?
It's 4,000.
Okay. Okay, guys, everyone, do it on a calculator on your phone, okay?
Yeah.
So take 100,000, divide it by 1,000, you get 100, and then 100 times 40, right? What's it?
Yeah.
Yep, times 40. It's 4,000. It's 4,000, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 4,000. Yeah.
Okay. So we got that. Okay. Maybe I can do this on my. I'll share a calculator. I'll do it here, right? So okay. Is everyone following? Put an F if you're following. Put N. Put a N if you're not following.
So the thing is, so what does the 40 represent? So when we launched the blockchain, our UNTB token, which is our utility token, is going to be spitting out into the world 40 UNTB every half a second. Now, when you understand, we have round figures 8 billion utility tokens, which the calculation is that it will take, they're going to release them over 10 years. So if you're familiar with Bitcoin, you'll know that Bitcoin, I think, has 21 million or something like that. And they have a time period that they're going to finish releasing them. So what they do is it's called a halving. I think about 3 months ago, Bitcoin just went through a halving. So what it means is that the data mining, the mining calculation for Bitcoin gets tougher. So it means there's only like 13 Bitcoin released every hour, that sort of thing. So ours is kind of to the same sort of model, but different. So initially it's going to be 40 UNTB every half a second that is released before we move to the next reduction, so that it works out over 10 years. So it'll start at 40, and I don't know the numbers, but it might go 40.
I just need to make a point here. This is assuming everybody stakes. And this is why the 100,000 figure is really important. I'll go back to that. Okay, so assuming everybody stakes their thing, it'll start releasing at 40 UNTB pretty much per what is it, per stake token?
No, so it's so it's just 40 into the world, into the blockchain or into the system. But I've been able to do the calculations. 95% of them will be allocated to the staked CRU, right? And that'll be 5% out into the open market, which people will be able to purchase. But what you're saying there, Mo, and so you understand, and we might be confusing a little bit, so let's try and keep some clarity here. What Mo was saying is that if 100% of the people that own CRU points go and stake, then the reward would be 40 utility tokens per every 1,000 that you own. Now, in our internal exchange, we have the ability to stake there already, which is absolutely awesome. And if you think about it, there's only 55% of the people that have CRU points that are actually staking. So if that number continues onto the open market, then, and only 55% of the people stake, then 40 could potentially could be 50 or 60 per 1,000, depending on who stakes. So like stake, because of the reward here of the utility token could be bigger than what it is. I suspect that it will, but this is a number that is will show per, if everybody stakes. So that's really, really exciting. But I guess the exciting part with this, so we're up to 4,000. Now, we know that it's going to be launched at 1 cent each. So, and this, while it's spitting out 40 every half a second, it's going to be, and I'm not sure when the first reduction will be, but this is what it's going to be every month for you. Every month, this number will come in. Every month, every month, every month. Now, you just imagine when you understand what the utility token is going to be used for on our blockchain, then it's going to be high in demand, and because people want to use it, it's like our daily currency that will be used in and out. I have to throw something else in here. Is like, well, why would people come in and want to use our currency? Well, if you look at the existing banking system now that you're using, every transaction that you make, anything that you buy, the bank clips the ticket, right? The bank makes literally billions of dollars annually from buying and selling. They're that middleman that clip the ticket along the way on everything that you purchase. And then we move to the blockchain where Bitcoin is and Ethereum and all those sorts of things. And everybody's moved there because they've cut the bank out. It can happen much quicker and much cheaper. But there's still a fee when you're transacting on the blockchain. On our blockchain, anything on our blockchain is zero fees. Zero fees. So you think about, holy cow, I'm coming in here. I'm bringing my platform in here, because you think about some of these companies that are spending, hundreds of millions of dollars annually just on fees, to get from point A to point B. So we are going to be attractive to many, many organizations outside of, what we're doing. And so that, and the fact is going to contribute to driving the value of each one of these utility tokens up. Now, if you think about this here, and as it continues to grow, Andre has said, and if you've been keeping up to date, Andre has said that the value of each one of these UNTB tokens, but by the time we've released them out into the market over the next 10 years, each one of them could have a value of $125 each. So just do the math on that and start looking at the future. And this is where, if you need cash to draw out for your daily expenses or your monthly expenses, if you play the patience game and hold this, you'll be able to start strategizing on what value this token needs to be so that you can start replacing your income. It is so exciting. So I'm not even going to look at this on my own platform until it's at least 10 cents. But by the time I've got to that, I could have accumulated like a couple of 100,000 of these, and I won't need to release to cash all out. I'll just keep going, and just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, in all reality, that 125 in 10 years is a gross underestimation of the possibility of what this could do, because it is linked into our CRU program, which is backed by our global portfolio. So when you think about the bigger picture of what this is, it really is our daily trading mechanism, but it's backed by real tangible assets. So it's going to have probably a higher demand on it than what Bitcoin or Ethereum is, because they're just they're kind of smart contracts and they're a blockchain backed by nothing tangible really. Whereas ours is interlinked with our whole platform, which is backed by a global portfolio, only going up and up and up. So when the crypto unit economy actually sees what we have, they're going to want to go, oh my God, I want some of that, because what they're buying right now out there is it's like they buy it once and they're buying it because they want to make money. So they buy it at a price, it goes up. So they sell so they can go and spend and spend it on their expenses, and then they've got to start again. Whereas when they realize that at our crypto unit, you buy it once, it goes up in value every month, and oh my God, it pays me. It's like, oh my, how many of those do I need to have so that I don't need to go to work anymore? They're just going to go, so it's like, here's my version of the crypto economy. And go and look, there's a company called CoinMarketCap, it's a website. You'll see that there's over $350 trillion transacted in the cryptocurrency world every 24 hours. Every 24 hours. If you have that world come in, just 1% of that world come into our economy and what we're doing, refresh that, Mo. And then scroll, if you scroll right down the bottom of that 100, scroll right down the bottom of that page, you'll see what's been transacted in the last 24 hours. Right down the bottom, even though it's dropping down, right down where we're there, 98. Whoop, back up a bit there. Right there, there it is there. 300, just down a bit there. You see, you get down to the, you jump around a bit, Mo. It's 350 billion, and to me, like 90% of the people in that crypto economy, they're gambling. They're gambling. They don't know really what they're doing. It's the 10% that know what they're doing that are getting all the money off the people that are gambling. It's the 10%. Well, you imagine those people that are gambling because they just want more money. They're just trying to get a better life for themselves. When they see our platform, so you think about that. We talk about Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. 90% of the people over there trading their time for money. So it's those 90% that are trying to make more money on the cryptocurrencies that will, and that's only like 1% of the global economy, just 1%. So you think about, so the question is, well, what are the other 99% doing? Well, they don't want to gamble like that because they know that that's not the real way to actually make money. They want to look for stable investments, something that is backed by tangible assets that are giving returns. Well, guess what? That's what we have as well. So we're not only attractive to the crypto economy, we're also attractive to the global economy of investors around the world that are go, wow, this looks like a good investment. And then when you go and do the math on our numbers up till this point, our numbers, when you work it backwards, we can't work the numbers forwards yet. There's a plan working forwards, but you look at the numbers working backwards, our platform has increased at 10.5% a day. 10.5% a day. You show me any other platform around the world that can do that and do that consecutively for 6 years, coming up to 6 years. So that makes us a really, really attractive platform to actually, for some of these bigger players to come and look and go, wow, you know, we've got a massive portfolio over here and we're struggling to give a return to all our investors. Yet here, I can actually solve that problem by coming and getting involved in your platform or what you're doing. Starting to see the bigger picture here, everybody. And wow, it's just, you know, it's like, that's just one layer of this whole thing and what's going on. It's so exciting because everything is coming together to basically pop the cork on the champagne bottle in the next month or two to actually start this whole process in the real world. I talked earlier on about the platform being built. You know, that platform has been built. It's such a solid platform around it. You know, and the platform includes our blockchain team. It includes our lawyer team. You know, the mechanisms to actually secure, to make sure that we're crossing our T's and dotting the I's all the way. This is what I saw, what I realized when I got into this, that everything else that I'd been in before, they hadn't crossed their T's and dotted their I's. This here, and Andre is just so brilliant in putting the team together to back his vision of where this thing's going. And so it's you know, even before we get into the main launch on the open market, this platform has already set me free. And the platform is going just to accelerate more people being set free. And I'm seeing it more and more and more every day of people being able to get to a point with this company and actually leave their JOBs.
Neil, I've got to interject right at this point. You've got to tell people why even right now it's still a great time to get into this company, because there's going to be loads of people that are going to be like, oh, if only I'd have got in earlier. Oh, but the opportunity's passed. Oh, what? Say something to that, please.
You know, as we go into the real world, you're already starting to see the real growth in this in the value of what we're doing, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, there was a lot of people that were excited last year in the build up to October, and yes, you know, it was a false start. You know, Hussein Bolt got out of the blocks too early, right? False start. Did that mean we stopped the race? No, we all come back to the beginning and we started again. And, you know, with our platform and what we did, and here we are nearly a year later, and we're about ready to pull the trigger on the start again. But the thing is, in that whole year, there has been such a better platform built for us to launch off of. It is just so exciting what's going on here. So, you know, where this is going, I've got off a tangent. What was your question again, Mo? What was I meant to talk about again?
The question is, look, there's so many people that are basically going to be like, oh, if only it was a year ago and I got in at the very beginning, but now it's too late, Neil. It's already gone. I know, it's too late, Neil. It's too late.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I understand that. The thing with this, and what we have to understand is this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. At some point, you have to start. You know, Andre doesn't want you coming in and borrowing money to come into this. Andre wants you to look at your expenses, and when you actually look at your expenses, you'll see how much you're actually wasting every month, and take that wastage and put it in and start building your portfolio. So right now, you can still get CRU points internally, which is the best and the cheapest that you'll ever get them right now. Even when we launch on the blockchain, you'll still be able to buy them. It just means that you're just starting to see the real value grow in real time. But I mean, not only that, and this is where being a part of our VIP club comes in real handy, is because the VIP club is going to give you access to multiple income streams as we roll them out, multiple income streams. I mean, just think about, you know, if you knew what Google was going to, when Google launched, if you knew what the value was today, would have you gone and brought shares in Google, you know, when they launched? The same with Facebook, the same with Amazon, the same with all those big companies. If you knew what they were going to be, the value was going to be 10 years on, would you go back and buy them? This is what the VIP club is. If you think about, as we build our global portfolio, we're going to be adding other companies into our portfolio. So the VIP club, as we launch them onto the open market, you think about our blockchain. We can launch those, we can launch our gold company on the blockchain as an STO. Through the VIP club, we'll get first opportunity at the cheapest price of that. It's just going to, so there's so many other income streams that are going to be introduced to you. So when is the best time to start? Now, you know, and start building your portfolio. Get as many CAU as you can before we launch at the cheapest price, but don't stop buying them, because if you can buy them at $1 and they're going to be worth $1,250 in the next 4 to 8 years, then that's a good buy. There's going to be people on the open market that will see that as a great buy, because they buy it once, it goes up in value every month, and it pays them. It's like, oh my God, and it's going to be introducing me to more multiple income streams. So everybody that's sitting here now, you either have 1 or 2 income streams. If you've got more, good on you. You're probably trading more time, or you're starting to apply the knowledge that comes within our platform to help you. So within the next 3 to 4 years, even if you start now, even if you start next year or the year after, you're still going to be able to come in, apply the knowledge, and you're going to have like golden eggs or baskets of golden eggs to actually choose from to build a portfolio with. So, but the sooner you get in now, the sooner you get it done. So you can, so here's the other scenario. You can start your journey right now to retirement, which can be 2 to 3 years, or you can stay where you are and work out till you're 65. And probably by the time you get there, they might have extended it to 70 or 75. You have to work longer. So, you know, start now and just get it going. But I think there'll be, there's going to be a lot of happy people when we take this to the next level. And, you know, all I can say is make sure that you're on our, on the Eventi 2020 when that comes out. I'm part of the team helping to put that together, and it's really, really exciting what's coming. So awesome.
Neil, thank you so much. Right, so we're still going to do some stuff. I just want to say, so basically, even if you only have 100 crew or 1,000 crew or whatever, right, it doesn't matter. So if you can get to that even now, oh my gosh, like it's still a freaking amazing proposition. It's better than not, right? The second thing is, people are generally asking, where can we watch the recording? Because this is the best video ever, right, is what they're saying. So Neil, thank you. Guys, put a whole bunch of 8s in the chat for Neil. Like, he's amazing, isn't he? Just give him so many 8s, please. Show him some love. So yeah, so there's that. There's also people, oh yeah, where can we get the video? That's what they were saying. You'll be able to watch the video on the Facebook. There's the official Facebook channel, and there's also the official YouTube channel. I think we're going live on the Facebook already, and I think it'll probably go onto the corporate, so it probably will go onto the official YouTube channel as well. So you can watch that. Yes, and SO, I'm gonna get to that. Basically, they want to know about the calculation because we left them in the middle, and you can't leave them hanging. Can't leave them hanging.
I saw that. We need to do that. And how are we going? We're wow, we're chugging along here. So you've got this is where this is where your own personal strategy will come into, because everybody around the planet has a different needs, different monthly expenses. So you'll be able to work it out. But with this simply here, and probably you know, this would be the minimum, I think, and it could only get better for you from here on out. But we know that it's going to launch at 1 cent. And you'll be able to do the calculation on 100,000. For those of you that have got more, congratulations. It just means things are going to happen quicker for everybody. But even at 1 cent, I think if you do this 4,000 at the 1 cent on the launch day, so we go 4,000 times 0.01, means that you could cash those 4,000 out, which you haven't had to spend. You haven't had to spend any more money to do that, but it would end up as $40 US. You'll be able to take this and you'll be able to sell that on our blockchain, right? Because you remember there'll be demand in there because this is a daily usage coin with no transaction fees, and there's so many other components to that. Imagine with our Ugain platform, and we haven't really got to that today. I don't know if we'll have enough time, but with the Ugain platform, that there might be a point system. Well, there will be a point system in there, and it's attached to our UNTB token or something similar. So there's a trading platform, daily platform with getting. Now, if you take that at 1 cent, look, when we launch this, it's not going to stay at 1 cent for very long. But if you had a game plan where you sat there and had some patience and you waited till it got to 10 cents, then that could be 400, right? That would be 400 a month.
Well, sorry, I'm just trying to get Dana to just give me a second. Dana, can you share the link for the Facebook page and also the YouTube page so that people can know? Oh yeah, excellent, got it. Thank you. Right, sorry, Neil. So we're at 4,000 times a cent times 0.0. What, a cent? 1 cent? Yeah. So 4,000 times 1 cent equals 40. So it's a bit. I think it's US dollars. So we're going $40 US. Yep. Right. So that's the value at 1 cent. So at 10 cents, it's $400, right? Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's 400. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. And so, you know, the more patience that you have, if you decide to sit here, right, I'm going to wait for it to hit $1, right? That's 4,000 US dollars a month. Now, that's based on the fact that 100% of everybody stakes their CRU. The likelihood of that is not 100%. You know, if it's 50%, you can start looking at doing the math. But you can start playing about with these numbers and create your strategy, your exit strategy. But while you exercise patience, you're going to be accumulating these every month, right? Every month, you just stake. Never sell your CRU. That is your goose. That's the goose that lays the golden egg. Never sell that. And that's the one that's going to create the legacy that just goes on and increases in value. So as you stake that, now, as you accumulate, as you create your strategy and you accumulate UNT points, bearing in mind, in 10 years' time, these could have a value of $125 each. Then you start to look at long-term value as well. But I mean, as it grows and grows and grows, now you'll look in your back office and you'll see that there's another opportunity to stake your UNTB as well. Now, why would you stake that? Well, you would stake them because you don't need them, because you've got enough allocated to come out for your monthly expenses, but you would stake them because there's probably going to be another reward for staking your UNTB. Now, what could that reward be? Now, I'm purely speculating here. I have no idea, but I mean, if you think about some of the core products in our portfolio, basalt, our gold mining, our diamond manufacturing, our franchise, our Ugain, it could be, the reward could be ownership in these companies. Again, another income stream, another layer of the onion, which is another income stream. And all companies that are world healing technologies as well, right? You know, it's just such a beautiful company. I just love this company so much. I gotta clarify why 100,000 is an important number here, right? Because, and yeah, as Neil was alluding to, when you go to the blockchain thing, it kind of hints that you can stake these. Okay, can you can see my screen? Yeah. You're not looking at the calculator. You're looking at my diagram. See your screen, yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So look, this is why 100,000 is an important number, because it turns out I did some maths, and it turns out if you look at the amount of accounts that we have, the 700 odd thousand, okay, basically if you look at those that have 100,000 or more, that's 90% of the entirety of crew holders is held by people that have at least 100,000. So if you have 100,000 at least, absolutely, please, 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 you got to be staking. Like, you know, it don't work if you're not staking, basically, or at least the UNTB part of it doesn't work, you know. Well, actually, no, it just goes slower. It just goes slower, that's all. But then, I know we're talking a lot about passive income, all of the different passive income streams, so many, right? Okay, if you own crew, you get these two. Oh, actually, let's go to stake. Let's go to this, right? Okay. If you go to, right, this is why you want to stake, guys. There's 3 things that you can do come the 1st of October, okay? Guys, type a 3 in the chat if you are following, okay? Oh, and by the way, Elena had to say that she had to go, so she may well not be back. Just be aware. Okay, so I can't remember why I said type 3. Oh yeah, because you understand there's 3 things you can do. Okay, right. There's 3 things you can do on the 1st of October when it really kicks off. Okay, you can do nothing, which is basically holding your crew, holding it still. Okay. So if you just hold it, okay, you still get profit bonus, you still get loyalty bonus, and I'll tell you a little bit more about how those work, just, you know, because there will be people that still don't understand, okay? And you'll still get those 2 things, and that's fine. And also, you'll have the most freedom if you want to sell your crew, but hopefully Neil has spelled out a very good case for why would you sell it, right? And here's the hint. There's a golden goose here. I couldn't actually find a picture of a golden goose with its neck, with its head cut off, right? To put by sell. But anyway, you could hold them, or you could sell them, right? But this is what happens if you stake them. You get UNTB, right? And Neil has already he's just spent the last however long spelling out why UNTB is going to be your lifeline. Only one of them. I mean, man, there's so many lifelines in this company. It's amazing. It's ridiculous, right? And you've got to remember, guys, stop thinking about little numbers like the 1,000 that you need to live life, okay? Because this company, you're going to be thinking about unimaginable numbers, okay? I'm just like, I don't even know what a trillion even means. There's a really good thing doing the rounds on Facebook about that. But anyway, look. So look, these are just some of the different income streams. I haven't even completed the one about digital doubles yet, and I haven't even got onto YouGain yet because I'm still constructing this. Okay, the profit bonus. And by the way, Neil, please, if you can correct me if I've got any of this wrong. Okay. And guys, this, you see, what I want for this call, and I'm hoping this is the whole point of this call, right, is actually we want you to see the bigger picture here, because when you see the bigger picture, you'll know why you don't want to sell crew, okay? We are not financial advisors. We can't tell you what to do, but we can only tell you what we're doing. And I know that I ain't selling it. I know I ain't just holding it. I know I'm going to stake every single one, right? And I'm pretty certain that Neil's thinking that as well, okay? If that's not obvious already. Guys, type steak in the chat if you're going to stake, or if you like steak. I love steak. Or if you're vegan, right? Vegan steak. I don't know. Right, okay, look. Where is the passive income coming from? The first one, profit bonus. Okay, this is basically when the portfolio goes up in value, right, and it's liquid, right, then we take a vote, and it's 12. Well, as long as it's over $100,000 that it makes, then we take a vote, and it pays out between 12 and 35%, depending on the vote, depending on how many crew you hold. Okay, And the way we're going to increase that is we're going to rebalance the portfolio so that there will always be 25% that will be liquid. Okay. So and that's with Harren, I believe, that he's going to kind of or you know, whatever, they're going to allocate 25% to things that are going to be able to go up and down in value and liquidate. Okay. The loyalty bonus, number 2, type a 2 in the chat. If you Matt, type a number in the chat. Just type 8 in the chat. Just type 8 in the type loyalty. Type something. I don't know. Type something. Right. Okay. I'm just getting really excited. Thank you. Type an 8 in the chat if you are excited. That's what you should do. Okay. Loyalty bonus. This is until October 2021 only so far. Okay, but you never know if these things are going to get extended. Who knows, right? That's up to Andre. But basically, until October 2021, currently, every crew holder, you get 10% of all of the sales revenue from our company. Okay, and that's just the loyalty bonus for having crew points at the moment. If you want to increase this, you just got to sell more packages. Okay. Staking rewards, we just talked about this. So estimated, assuming everyone, oh, I didn't actually write that. So yeah, well, actually, yeah, assuming everyone stakes, you'll get 40 UNTB a month at least. Okay, pretty much per 1,000 crew that you have. Okay, so how do you increase this staking reward? Stake your crew. Okay, I can't emphasize this enough. Why would you not stake? Okay. If you've got to sell because you've got to I don't know, there's got to be other ways of making money for you right now. Okay, but you know, no one's going to judge you if you sell because you can't feed yourself. You know, maybe that's got to happen, right? So you know, no one's going to judge you, but let's all face facts. Staking is really what we ultimately want to do, right? Okay, but there are other ways. Just talk to your mentor or talk to someone and work out another way of making income other than selling your crew, right? Because trust me, there was the guy that bought pizza with Bitcoin for like tens of thousands of Bitcoin back in 2010 or something. And do you know what? He is probably just kicking himself now, okay? Except maybe he just couldn't afford to eat anything. So who knows? Like, maybe that's all he could do. Sorry, anyway, other income streams. Build a team, right? 37% of all of the sales revenue in the company. So 40% goes to the portfolio, right? And you know what? I just want to wow Phil here. I've got a whole bunch of these slides, right? But anyway, all these new purchases, 40% goes into the portfolio all the time. 37% goes into the networking plan. Okay, so 37%, you get, you know, 8%, 7%, 5%, 4%, whatever it is, right, per referral. Okay, so how does that go up? You sell more packages, you bring more people into the company. We want, remember, more than 1 billion people in this company. Okay.
Can I just on that point right there, Mo? It's like we're not. I don't sell anything, and I don't bring people into the company. What I do is I want more people to be on this journey with me. I want my family and my friends to have the rewards that this company's about. So I'm not selling them anything. I'm like here's what it is. I like, and I know that they're busting their guts just to make ends meet. That's just the way that society is right now for everybody on the right-hand side of the quadrant. And sorry, on the left-hand side of the quadrant. That's what it is. So you know, I just share my story and show them my changes. It's like it's there. Now, if they don't want it, then that's fine. It's okay. But they're going to watch you, and it's going to be a lot more painful for them watching you. Then this is the beauty of this company. You know, they don't have to come in and do the marketing part of it. They can come in and they can get their piece of the pie and sail off into the sunset. It might take a little bit longer for them, but this thing, when you understand where the portfolio is going, it's only going up because it's always going to apply the #1 rule, which is to pay ourselves first. So it's like, you know, I can't believe, you know, how much that they've actually gifted away over the last 6 years, well, the whole year of the CryptoUnit program, what are we now, about 18 months, just what they've given away that's going to change people's lives. There's people that have accounts out there that have been gifted, I think 300, 200, 150, and even at $1,000 in the next 5 years, each one of those, that 150 is $150,000 gift that this company's given away.
If you went to Eventi last year, they gave you 30,000 crew just for going.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But I mean, I'll tell you what, it's the marketing plan that has changed my life. And I think it's sort of my life's journey up to this point really helped me see the bigger picture of what this is, and truly understanding that this is what everybody's looking for. A lot of people don't know, but this is as I keep saying, you buy it once, it goes up in value every month, and it pays you. That's what the 90% are looking for. And as we get more and more momentum with this, more and more are going to wake up and realize that this is the opportunity, and they'll be able to start whenever they want. But the marketing plan for doing that, you think about this. Right now, we're still in pre-launch basically, and so we're in pre-launch. We're in pre-launch mode and pre-launch value. When we get to the open market, and I'm seeing this already, that bigger money is coming in. There's bigger money, that people have been hoarding this in their wardrobes and under their beds, for a rainy day, the Armageddon or whatever it might be that they're anticipating might happen. But they're realizing that this is where it needs to be. If you kind of think about it, in the current banking system, I think the foundations of that system are actually starting to crumble. And as people realize that, it's like, man, I don't really want to have my money in the bank. I want where the future's going, which is in the crypto world and the blockchain system. And that is what we have. And I'm starting to see bigger amounts of money coming through. Now, when we're on the open market, like we've got SEC approval, we've got our KYC, we've got our anti-money laundering, everything. We've ticked all our boxes. We've got all our ducks in a row. Those big boys that have $1 million under their pillow and under their mattress, they're going to be bringing this into our platform. Now, you imagine that you might know some of those, or somebody that you know that they know that they know that they know might actually go, wow, I'm going to put this in. And so it's going to come into our platform. That means the marketing plan alone the reward off of one of those could be enough for your month's expenses, or maybe 2 months' expenses. But this is what's coming as we open up into the open market, where everybody can see how real and exciting and the growth and where this whole thing's going. It's huge. And you just think about it. Remember, we went back to the existing cryptocurrency market, and there's a 350 billion every 24 hours. That varies, but just 1% of that comes into our platform. Holy cow, this thing's like, here we go, here we go. And I said earlier on, make sure you got your seatbelts on, because this is going to be one hell of a ride. It was just getting going up and up and up and up and up. So yeah, the marketing plan, when your life has changed and you're starting to live life on your terms, all your friends and families are going to go, why didn't you tell me earlier? Why didn't you tear it and share it with me? So just share. We want people on this journey with us. That's what it's about.
Guys, these ones are basically slower, but are gonna be amazing, like ridiculous when they come, right? But if you want income right now, if you want to replace a normal salary within just a few months, maybe 3 months, you can do it with the current express bonus. Okay, it actually will let you do that, right? Because the express bonus, this application is out of date, shut up. Right, okay, sorry. Right, okay, so our company rewards for building, for raising people to your level, okay? So president with a president with presidents underneath you, okay, gets you the highest bonus. And if you do that within 275 days, but if you, so if you start at the beginning, right, and let's say that everyone let's say $250 minimum. So the minimum purchase for the agent is really $200. But let's say you got like 250, you know, you come in, you pay $250, and then you recruit 5 other people, right? And they also put in $250 at least. And you manage to make this structure within 25 days of when you first sign up, then you get $350. Okay. So you've already made more than the money that you put in. Okay. And then the next month you put in another $250 to make that 500. And you also raise your each of your 5 people now have their own 5 people, and they've become agents as well, and they've got their own partners that have done 250 each. Okay, you make an $800 bonus if you do it within right, okay. So you right, if you let me just put that on silent. Let me just switch it off or something. Right, yeah, okay, there you go. Right, so if you duplicate, so these guys duplicate the previous structure, you make $800 if you do it within 50 days. Okay. 39 days for agent. Look, it gets better, doesn't it, Ciso? Right? 39 days for agent. If you want, can you correct me when I say the time frames? That would be awesome, Ciso. Thank you. So consultant, I've got on my slide 50 days, but it's probably longer than that. So you get $800, right? You've only put in $500, and actually, to be fair, it's already started paying you back anyway. Okay, but not only that, you also have a structure working for you. You've got like 30 people under you now. So 30 people under you, you've made a commission of $538. So you're basically walking away with $1,000. Okay, you've only put in like $250 of your own money, and the rest of it has pretty much come from the organization already. Okay, next month, you're now a manager because you've raised those guys up to consultant. You do it within a certain amount of time, 100 days is what it says on the slide, and you get a bonus of $1,700. So look at this. And by the way, thank you to Gail Potkin. I think she's done these calculations herself, so I'm building on that. So look, by this point, manager with consultants below you, with that structure, the minimum structure, you've got about 150 people working below you. You get a one-off bonus of 1,700, and you get commissions. You're now beginning to realize a salary, because this is only going up now. And once you get, I mean, look, you've got 155 people. Not all of them are going to stop. Some of them are going to keep going. Okay. If you get up to leader manager, right, you've now got a structure of 700 people at least. Really, not all of them are going to stop. A lot of them will continue. Not only have you made $12,000 in that month, okay, or within that time frame, I don't know what the time frame is, right? Yeah, 125 days, right? But you've also pretty much got a commission that's going to be coming in, not necessarily $9,000, but I mean, come on, it's going to, even if it's half of that, is that good, right? Is that replacing your income? Do you see so many ways that you can replace your income ultimately? But look, this is a way that you can do it within 3 months, okay? Within 3 or 4 months. And ultimately, if you go to, where is it? Show more windows. This one, right? So ultimately, so many things, right? I'm only looking at Neil's smiling face. You have please put a smiley face for Neil's smiley face, okay? Guys, awesome, thank you. And don't worry about not following it. Just watch it again on the thing. Dana, if you can post the YouTube and the Facebook link again so people can catch the replay, that would be awesome. So guys, make a note of the YouTube and Facebook and follow it. Okay, so Right. If you, right, forget about these one-off bonuses. This side is all the one-off bonuses, okay? Forget about these for now. But look, if you manage to duplicate this structure, if you create this structure, right, as a very bare minimum, if you make it to president with 3 presidents below you, right, for this magic, thank you, Dana, for this magic 72,000 bonus, if you do it in 275 days. But forget about 275 days. Let's say you don't even make this at all, right? It doesn't matter. If you get to president, right, you have 3 presidents below you, and you have each of which have a minimum of 2 vice presidents below them. That's another 6 people. Each of which have another 4 top managers, 24 people. Each of which blah, 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 right? You are creating this minimum structure of 75,000 people. Do you realize not all of those people are going to stop, right? Now, if they only make the minimum purchases, and trust me, there are people that are making 10 times the minimum, right? Because they see the value, right? But if they only do the minimum purchase, right, then these are your bonuses that you've generated from those minimum purchases, okay? Which is basically, you're pretty much sitting on 150K per month. You know, or, you know, let's say it's only a fraction that keep working. I mean, come on, a fraction of 150K per month, that's a pretty valuable network, okay? And then on top of that, you do it within a time frame, you make another $200,000 within like 2/3 of a year, okay? Guys, put a freaking capital E or a whole bunch of 8s in the chat if you're excited. I mean, come on. And if you do that within 3 months, right? If you do that within 3 months, right? You don't need a job. You don't need a freaking furlough payment. You are free, okay? Right? But here's the other thing. Oh my God. If we get to 10 million people, I'm sorry, am I getting too excited, Neil? What do you think? Should I turn it down? What do you think?
No, carry on, carry on.
Okay, right. Guys, this is in addition to the normal bonus structure, by the way. But actually, maybe the networking bonuses are, well, then, you know, forget about that. The point is, lots of passive income, okay? That's the point. Look, okay, right, so 10 million people. If we get to 10 million people, check this out. This is magic, right? Don't worry about following all of this, guys. Don't worry about following all of this. Watch it again. Watch it again. You can't get it all the first time. It's fine, right? If we get to 10 million people, right, this is what happens, right? So potentially, right, originally we wanted to do this by September, but not everyone did the data mining thing. And let's face it, you know, teething problems, whatever. I hope that's covered. Please come back, rewatch this, understand why there is no GDPR issue. Please don't think there's a GDPR issue, right? There are other tutorial videos for how to get started with data mining. I'm going to post one I'll post one somehow, right? So look out for that, probably in the WhatsApp because it's on my personal YouTube. Okay, right, so 10 million participants. Currently, we've got about 1.5 million people, okay? If we attract another 8.5 million to get to 10 million, okay, then that means that our sales revenue is going to be $8.5 billion, okay? If they each purchase on average $1,000, which is pretty realistic, okay? That means that 40% of that goes into the portfolio, okay? Because 40% of all sales goes into the portfolio. Can I change that? Yes, I can. Brilliant. All sales. Right. So 40% of all sales goes into the portfolio, okay? So 40%, if you do the maths of $8.5 billion, is $3.4 billion, okay? Now, remember, we have a plan, right, okay, $3.4 billion. First of all, imagine what good that could fund. Oh, by the way, someone said, how's it going with Kitmar, right? I don't know what's happening with Kitmar, but what I do know is that it has an audience of 1 billion people, 1 billion Indians that we can feed healthy messages to, Okay. Stephen, there's not going to be recordings. There's going to be the Facebook, there's going to be the YouTube, and it will be there. So please go scroll back. And Dana, if you can post those links again so that they're current, or you can scroll back. They're pretty current. They're up there. Dana has posted them. I hope everyone's clear about that. Please look at the Facebook group, look at the YouTube group. That's where the videos will be, the recordings will be. Okay. So yes, so imagine what good that could fund. How much startup capital did Digital Doubles need? Or how much did we allocate to Digital Doubles, Neil?
What's
Do you
that?
know?
Say that again, sorry.
How much of the portfolio did we allocate to Digital Doubles?
Oh, no, not much. We didn't need to put much in there.
It's about $1 million or something.
Probably somewhere around there.
Yeah. So look, $3.4 billion, right? How much good can that fund if we can buy Digital Doubles company for $1 million, right? And we've got another $3,399 million, right? No, what's it? Oh my God, that's like billion. Oh my God, like, it's just ridiculous, right? The amount of money that we've got to fund awesome things, okay? So look, imagine that 850 million of that, 25% of it, is going to be stocks and shares and things that aren't actually liquid that we can get in and get out of, right? Because that's what we're going to do with the portfolio, right? That's going to generate a profit bonus of $274 again per 100,000 crew, right? Okay, so if you've got 100,000 crew, that's how you get a massive profit bonus. That's just one part of this. But look at the other thing. Look at the other thing, right? We talked about CoinMarketCap. Armans does this amazing thing with this, right? So, oh no, I don't know if this is connected to. Do you know what? I need a break. Neil, you need to talk.
Oh, look, Mo, I can feel your energy, as you can't help but just get it when you start explaining this, and you're knowing what's being generated, and as we move forwards with this. But let's just to round off what you're saying there. The goal is to have 10 million people in this organization by Christmas. I didn't believe it was September. I've always thought it's been things. So I don't believe that we're behind the 8 ball. Now, so here we are in September. Now, how are we going to get that 10 million? Now, you're not going to do it right now. Well, we could do if everybody went out and just did 5 a day for a week. We could do that quite comfortably. But in all reality, that's not going to happen. But then we bring in our data mining, then we bring in our U game. You understand our U game, and it's being, they say it's a marketing plan within a marketing plan, right? So when you bring in our consumer society, which we're getting ready to launch the U game project, then that really has the ability. Here we're going to have, I'm not sure if you can see me now, but on our phone, we're going to have an app. So I've got 3 daughters, right? And I'm like, come on, you got to start getting up to this. Oh, Dad, if I only had an app on my phone, it'd be really cool. Well, guess what? There's an app on the way that you can share discounts with all your friends. You're going to go out for coffee. Hey, let's all get the discount. Do you want the app? Ba-bang, ba-bang, ba-bang. And then by the time everybody's got the app, you're actually got free coffee because the points you've got for sharing the app and sharing discounted goods and services with your friends. Not only that, but your friends that own the coffee shops and stuff like that. The marketing plan, and when we launch that, is what is going to help bring the numbers through in. Now, everything that Mo said is pretty much bang on the money, but one of the things that he's missed out on, when we have 10 million people in this organization by Christmas, it's not if, and we've got to stop using if, it's when. Now, whether we hit our dates or not, we're still going to get in, they're still going to come and be a part of us. But Andre has said, when we have, based on their average spend, that means our CRU, your golden goose, is going to be worth $10 US each, right? So when we happen with that with Christmas, then you think of the flow-on effect with that energy, with this whole crypto economy and the big economy. It's like, wow, this thing's going up really quick. I got to come in and get some. So we're just going to become a money magnet, which is what Andre is all about, is a money magnet, creating platforms that attract money for us. So it's like bang, 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 bang. So it's more. So here's how it works. I mean, so we right now we're selling our EIP packages, and then the sales from that goes in to build the portfolio. And so, and as we got our CRU program, it's like, oh, well, I want some more of that. So we make more sales, more sales, more sales. So it just attracts the whole global economy that's there. It's like, come in and want a piece of this. So if you just think about that alone, then what's going to come off of that is all these other income streams. So those of us that are doing the marketing plan for that, that's going to be like probably 3 or 4 times liquid for us, rather than those that are just going to sit there and ride the wave of the value of it. But either way, we're all, you know, we're all going to get there with this platform that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And what Andre wants, you know, Andre has created a platform where everybody can start getting, you know, we're not going to be overnight millionaires. Yes, there's going to be some that will be that, probably a few billionaires as well. But even some of the smaller people, let's think about the people in the third world countries that have some of the smaller packs, and what this is going to do for them. You know, initially what you're going to start seeing that your utility bills paid for each month. You know, that covers that. And then the next couple of months later, oh, I can pay a week's rent or a mortgage out of this. And then another, wow, I can pay the whole month. And all of a sudden, before you know it, there's enough income coming off of this that that's more than your job, than your job, right? And then you start living life on your terms. Oh, I don't think I'll go to work today. I don't need to. I've got everything covered. And then it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, you know? And so when you just take that first step, and then it's like, when we get on the open market, it's just going to accelerate like no tomorrow. When everybody wakes up and sees what we have, it is huge. So CryptoUnit program, where we started. Then we get into the data mining, building our database. Everything links in. It's another cog in the system. Then the UGame platform, and what that does, it's certainly going to connect us globally around the world. You know, we're opening that up in 10 countries, and we're going to unleash 1,000 people that can go and talk to the merchants and build our platform. So even as that platform's being built, you're going to be able to talk to people and go, look, well, we've already got all these merchants here in these other countries, 10. And you just think about, you can communicate with your customer base. You can improve your service. You can improve your sales. You can improve your customers, the amount of customers coming in, because everybody's sharing everything, and we're getting a discount. Everybody's winning. Bang, bang, bang. You gain with no pain. Everybody wins. It's like, wow, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? If you think about anything that you spend as a consumer in society is going to be part of our UGame plan. And all of this comes back down to getting the numbers for us towards, you know, our 10 million. Now, in reality, as this thing goes and it goes well, I think we'll exceed that. I think we'll exceed 10 million. If we do that by Christmas, awesome. But as it goes up, so does the value of your CRU. So we have 40 million. That's $40 US a crypto unit. We get to 50 million. You know, are we going to stop? We're going to gain more and more momentum moving forwards. And then amongst that, we're adding more income streams, more income streams, more income streams. It just gets bigger and better. And we've been, you know, 5 years in the making. You think about these people that were involved in our multi-level crowd investing platform back in 2014, have been waiting for this day. You know, here we have, and all the people that have done the work and built the platform, here we have people that can come and get involved with this company literally today and change their lives almost overnight in such a short space of time. And you know, start receiving rewards from the loyalty payment and from the profit bonus. Just that alone can set a lot of people up and set a lot of people free. That's what this is all about.
Can you say something about the US? Amelia Garcia, thank you for your statement. She says, well, I'm happy for you, but us in the US can't do any of that now.
Can't do any of what?
Okay, so Amelia, if you can, so basically, yeah, if you want to clarify what your question is, if there's a question there, that would be amazing. But I just want to... Oh.
Well, I think if you're talking about the data mining, the data mining, you can build anywhere in the world. You can build your platform. There's nothing to say that you cannot build a platform. And understanding that the data mining team, they know the logistics and the legalities of what it is. So they're certainly ahead of the game, and they're certainly making sure that we're compliant all the way around. So and even if there's a slight hesitation there on what potentially you think it is, it doesn't stop you from actually building friends around the world. This is a global platform. And the U-Game, I think the US is one of the countries that's going to set up and go. So New Zealand, being down here in New Zealand, we're not part of the first 10. I'm kind of jealous at that. But I mean, when we come to New Zealand, we're going to go, well, look, there's already 4,000 U-Game merchants ready to go in the US. Then we've got the other countries around the world that we can go. It's like, it's exciting. All products and all part of what we do can be used globally around the world. And you just have to, if you say you can't, you can't. If you say you can, you'll find a way to make it happen. And like here I am here in New Zealand. I think we probably have about maybe between 5,000 and 7,000 partners here across New Zealand. But my structure is global. I've got over 61,000 people around the world. I don't know where they all are. I don't know how I got there or where we got there, but it's a global platform which has changed my life for me. And here's the thing, and here's where I was going to get to with that. It's like with 10 million people, we're at 1.5 now, somewhere around there. These people are coming into this organization. If you understand the amount of income that is available from that, do you want them to be in your structure? Because as you build your structure and as you start this journey, that is another asset and another income stream in and of itself. Because that, when you build the structure, and as we build multiple income streams, everybody in your structure is going to want the multiple income streams as well, hence another income. And with what I've built, and it's taken me 3.5 years to build that now to what it is, with what's coming and the tools that are available, you can do this in the next 12 months. I think some of you could even do that before Christmas as we launch these new products. Get into the data mining, get into the U-Game when it comes out, and you'll build a platform that it'll start building itself with our consumer society anywhere around the world. It doesn't have to be in your back neighborhood. It can be anywhere around the world. That's the beauty of this platform.
Oh my gosh. I also, guys, can you please put 8s in the chat? More 8s in the chat. Just keep engaged. Don't worry if you're not really understanding it. You can always come back. I know it's going to be a long call, but do you know what? It's of so much value. Neil, have you still got time? Because I'm happy. I can go all night. Okay. And I think this is going to be really good value for everyone. To like. Guys, don't feel like you have to stay. We're recording this. The links have been circulated, okay? So if you gotta go, you gotta go, right? But yeah, have you gotta go, Neil? Or
well, what else do you want to go through, Mo? I mean, let's kind of put a time frame on it. There is a lot here to absorb, and we won't sort of have a like when you open a book. What is it? Like we won't have it chapter by chapter. It's like knowing where it is. So yeah, we could probably go for maybe another 10 minutes and try and round this off. And
okay.
We might find that we could, from all the audience, they might want to select a specific. We could sort of break it down and do some specific topics and sort of fine tune and get a little bit more into the nuts and bolts of some of that.
What I think we could do, for the fact, because we can each talk for a long time, so we'll just do one thing, right? And let's just right. The first thing is, it's never too late. It's all about your mindset, and right now is the perfect time. Okay, because even if you don't get as much crew as you would like, maybe you're going to be positioned to get a massive load of like digital double shares or like Ugain shares or something by getting involved right now. Okay, so right now is the perfect time. When I first came into this company in 2017, all we had was this, right? And I won't mention the name because we're under a non-disclosure agreement, but all we had was this. And I thought, oh gee, if only I got in sooner. Oh, I might have missed out on the boat with that. If only I'd got in sooner. But then, do you know what? After a couple of years, this whole CryptoUnit thing was launched, and I was just like, holy mother, right? Okay, there's just one thing, because this can be a one-stop video, right? One thing, right? Armands does this amazing thing where, look, we are disrupting. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're doing a whistle stop, right? Okay, so this is all about our philosophy to change, and we've talked a lot about the philosophy for the entirety of this call. Okay, Neil's told you a lot about what we're actually doing and how we're doing it, and you're getting an idea of what we're doing. We're creating a different economy, right, for people, and we have the ability to reach massive, you know, we are thinking about how we're doing this. Okay, 3 pillars, obviously education. There's been a lot of education in this call and coaching from Neil about language. Okay, so remember, it's about when we get to 10 million people, right? Co-ownership, obviously we've talked a lot about the crew business, but look, I just want to touch on this thing, which is co-ownership of healthful resources that are going to create a monthly passive income and growing investment wealth. Co-ownership of healthful resources, things that are going to recover the environment, things that are going to recover our human sanity, things that are going to create a better world going forward. That's what we're really actually, and the way we're going to do it is by investing in disruptive technologies. So I said earlier, we are disrupting social media and marketing, right? We are disrupting Amazon and Uber and all those kinds of things, right? But here's the other thing. This is the awesome thing, right? We're actually about to disrupt crypto itself, right? So Armands does this amazing explanation, right? So as Neil alluded to, $350 billion is floating around is in the crypto space. Apple, by comparison, is already $1 trillion company. Okay, you know, there are other companies that are becoming $1 trillion companies. Okay, so crypto is so young. There's nothing in it. There's only 1/3 of a trillion in it so far. Okay, every day, every 24 hours, there's about $134 billion floating around in crypto, in the whole of crypto. Okay, the last valuation of our CryptoUnit, guys, type in the chat if you know how much the CryptoUnit was worth on the internal exchange, right? Type in the chat if you know what it was, right? But like particularly last month, okay, before we actually launched the proper internal exchange, do you know what it was set at? Type in the chat if you know what it was. Okay, exactly. Well done, NASA. You get the prize, right? It was 25 cents. Okay, so look at what is going on here. Why have I done that? Year in finance. What the hell is that? Right. Okay, so I'm ordering this by 24-hour volume. Okay, so $134 billion is floating around every 24 hours. 52 of that is in Tether alone. Okay, 30 billion of it is in Bitcoin, and another 20 in Ethereum. And then you go down to Tron, and then you go down to EOS, Tron really, and then Litecoin, and then Bitcoin Cash. Wow, okay, lots of people getting interested in crypto. It kind of did it this, and then it did it that. But Ripple, look at the price of Ripple, okay, 25 cents, okay, comparable to what we were doing, right? Now this is awesome. okay? Because when you look at any of these coins, right, Tether, supposedly a stable coin, for those of you that know crypto, you'll know that Tether is a little bit controversial as to whether they really do have $13 billion of cash sitting somewhere to really truly back it. So controversial, right? Bitcoin, $200 billion sitting in crypto. Now look at this. Crypto as a whole, whether it's Bitcoin or whatever, people are hoping that's going to be their savior when their money goes absolutely kaput. Okay, but the thing is, when you really look at what, this is a really cool one. I really like this. Right, okay. So look, when you look at what people's game is, right? Their game is like, oh, but if it goes to $1 million, I want to sell it. I want to sell it at $1 million, right? So everyone's game in crypto is basically to sell at the all-time high, right? And as Neil said earlier, there's been a halvening this year in about May, and usually what happens, keyword usually, is that it reaches the next all-time high. And basically that's what everyone is kind of hoping for right now. And then, oh yeah, I'll sell it at the top and I'll be a millionaire. But except what happens if it gets to $1 million, $100,000? Who's going to buy it at $100,000? So if they're not going to buy it at 100,000, 90,000. Okay, if they're not going to buy it at 90,000, and you see the flaw in the plan, there is nothing behind Bitcoin. There is nothing behind Bitcoin. There is just people's pure speculation. And I just want to give you this is a really interesting thing. Me, I do hold Bitcoin. I do hold Ethereum. I do hold a bunch of these altcoins actually, right? But do you know what? While if I need to sell any crypto to liquidate, to create cash flow right now, right? It ain't crew that I'm selling, right? Just hear what I just said there, right? It's not crew that I'm selling because I know what I value more, right? Ethereum's actually got something to it because it's got smart contracts, and actually, so EOS is a fork of Ethereum, and our crew is a fork of EOS. Okay,
It's not a fork. Don't use the word. We're not forking off them. To get that right.
Oh, okay. What are we doing? We're just built.
Well, we have our standalone platform, but it's based off the same model, but it's our own platform. It's not a fork.
Okay, so it's not a fork. It's not a fork of EOS, but originally it was built on EOS, and now it's modeled on it. Is that it? Check out Maria Antonenko's webinars on blockchain to understand our relationship with EOS. But the point is, okay, these things, they're kind of smart contracts. I don't really know what Tron is, but you know what? It don't give you shares. It don't give you, it won't give you a profit bonus. It won't give you a loyalty bonus, right? None of this stuff is actually paying you any money, right? Okay? None of it is paying you any money for holding it. Everyone is holding any of these things in order that they can sell it at the next all-time high. Okay? So let's talk about Ripple, which is 25 cents. There's nothing to this other than the banks are trying to use it for cheaper payments. But guess what? Our blockchain costs nothing if they do UNTB, right? Zero fees, as Neil spelled out earlier, right? So here's the thing. This is awesome. I will get to you guys that raised your hands. If you want to type your question in the chat box, I'm monitoring it, okay? So Ripple, right? But again, you and I, we're not the banks. We're not going to benefit from Ripple. We're just hoping, you know, you and I, we're hoping that we're going to be able to sell it when it gets to $100 or whatever people are thinking about Ripple, right? So there's no value behind it. But do you know what? When people get wind that there is something like our crew, okay, which is not only just speculation, but it is a security token, okay, and it actually pays you passive dividending, well, you know, profit bonus income, okay. I'll hide that for now because you know, but when they get wind of that, right, and this is so freaking young. There's nobody in crypto right now. There's only 1/3 of a trillion here. Apple has $1 trillion. That's just one company, right? When people get in, when people realize they're gonna, whose crypto do you think they're gonna want? We are disrupting crypto, okay? We've told you about all the billions of different types of passive income that you can get here. You are all raising your hands because you are excited, I know. Right, type in the chat what you're thinking, what your thoughts are, what your question is, because we can't unmute you anyway, because we don't have that power. Okay, yeah, thank you, Dana. Thank you for your support, Dana. And thank you guys if you got to go. And we are winding it up. I promise. And I'll pass on the closing thoughts to Neil in a second. Just give me a second. Right, okay. So, Ripple, 25 cents, comparable to where we were frozen at, okay? And 24-hour volume, $1.6 billion in 24 hours. Now, imagine this. Let's say we do in 1 month what Ripple does in 1 day. Okay, so calculation time. So remember, $1.6 billion and 25 cents. Okay, so if we do $1.6 billion in 1 month, then if you take that, and I'll do the calculation right here, I'll share my calculator again. $1.6 billion, 1, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So $1.6 billion, right? Think about what happens when it enters our portfolio. Let's look at the loyalty bonus. That's 10% of all the new money that comes in, right? So 10%, right? So what we're going to do, $1.6 billion times 10% is this, right? Equals $160 million, okay? By that point, we have probably distributed about 31 billion crew, okay? So let's divide that by 31 billion crew. Right, 31 billion, okay, equals, that is your loyalty bonus payment, okay? So that's 10% loyalty bonus. So multiply that by the amount, let's say 100,000 of crew that you have, okay? So let's say we've got 100,000 crew, right? $516 of a loyalty bonus just in that one. That's if we do like in 1 month what Ripple does in 1 day, okay? If we do 1/10 of that in 1 month, it's still pretty good if you have 100,000 crew, and like, you know, just work it out for yourself, right? Now let's look at the I don't know, I guess let's look at the profit bonus, right? So 40% of 1.6, whatever that was, let's go back to it was this, right? So 40% of this, which is 4 times this 10%, okay, is what goes into the portfolio, $640 million, okay, goes into the portfolio. 25% of that, actually, oh my gosh, it's the same as the loyalty bonus. If you divide that by 4, which is 25%, right, so times 0.25, 25%, right, it's the same, it's $160 million. And if that you know, so if that's liquid, I don't know, look, anyway, look, the point is, oh my god, it's going to be amazing. Right, right, NASA says, when do we go to the, when we go, are you saying, is that a question, or is that, I don't even know what that is. Right, okay, when we go to external exchange, will be 5%. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying, but it sounds great. It sounds great. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And Neil says, correct, NASA. We will eventually. Anyway, Neil, you can say what you want to say. Guys, I'm excited. Thank you so much for letting me rant.
You know, we can hear the excitement in your voice, Mo, and you know, it's really good. You know, as this thing goes, you know, we're going to have more people, and if anything, if I can teach you to change one word that you're saying today, eliminate it.
Yes.
Eliminate it, because it's when, you know, it's when this happens. You know, at some point we are going to we will have $1 billion month. At some point we will have a $2 billion month. At some point we will have a 5, 10, $30 billion month. And as we continue to grow, as I said before, when we start having these months, the profit 40% goes in to build the portfolio. It creates more excitement, more portfolio, more excitement, more portfolio. And there's income streams that we're all going to be tapping into that as we go. And you know, with what's coming, it is life changing. What's coming, you know, Andre's, you know, focus is to build the platform where not just the few at the top can be really being rewarded from this, but everybody across the platform is starting to get incomes coming in that's starting to change your lives, starting to do the utility, you know, the utility bill, you know, the weekly rent or the mortgage, you know, as it's building that. So, and that's the process. We're starting to free up people to give them more time, releasing that stress off their shoulders of where that money's coming from day in, day out. If you think about a mortgage or anything that we have, a debt, it's a negative suction. It sucks the living daylights out of us. So we release that off of everybody's shoulders. It's only going to get bigger. And today we've talked about really just a couple of layers of the onion that we're in. And this is one of those, and I probably have to change that analogy a little bit, because an onion is only sort of finite. There's only so many layers of the onion. But I guess if you kind of, to me, it's like we're just
an infinite onion.
Yeah, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's only going to get bigger and bigger.
Infinite onion in the chat.
Yeah. So, you know, look, we could, and as you clearly can see, that Mo and I could sit here and literally talk all day. I'm fully aware that you guys in the UK and that side of the planet need to go and get some sleep. My apologies, because I know that you're actually going to struggle to sleep tonight with some of the information you've sat here and absorbed. It's just going to be ticking over. Here's what's going to happen. You're finally seeing that light at the end of the tunnel is actually a door to the golden age. And the golden age, and what that represents to you, is whatever that you can imagine in your while you're trying to go to sleep tonight. But it is a reality, and we're getting so close. We're edging closer and closer and closer to this. It's getting really, really exciting. So look, be a part, you know, be a product of the company, you know, and when you're a product of the company, you know how it functions. You can see the benefits from it, and it just adds to your repertoire when you're talking to people about what it is that we're doing. And not only that, but as you become a product of the company, you're also creating multiple income streams for yourself as well. Man, who doesn't want that? You know, those are great conversations that you can share around any cup of coffee that you're getting a discount with anywhere on the planet. That you know, so it's like, this is the stuff that's coming. And really, if anything today, we're only scratching the surface. We are just scratching the surface. And I'm going to finish up by saying, what I'm known for saying right now is, like, we are only just getting started, everybody. We're just getting started. Get on board and get it done. That's me.
Guys, put a round of 8s in the chat for yourselves for making it right here, right? Put a round of 8s in the chat for yourselves. Put a round of 8s in the chat for Neil. Neil, thank you so much. It's been such a wonderful call with you today, right? And guys, put a round of 8s in the chat because you're just excited and you're just not even going to sleep tonight because you're just like, oh my God, right? Just serving you all. catch up with Dana. If you can, oh, Dana's gone already. Okay, so guys, I hope you got the Facebook and the YouTube links already. Scroll, well, you know, it's too late now, but look, someone will know where they are. So if you need the recording, go and get on those things and watch this again and watch it over and over, because I think there's a lot of value. And Neil, thank you so much again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm really sorry. We don't actually have the power to unmute anyway. So time's up now, but we'll talk to you another time. So guys, thank you so much. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, you know, 7 p.m. calls. Be on this call. Yeah.
Just a couple of parting shots though, doing the housework. So summary meeting this weekend. Make sure you're on the summary meeting. There's always something new and exciting going on, and it helps you keep up to date with the growth of the company. And then don't forget, we've got coming up at the end of the month, we're going to have the Eventi live. I was really disappointed that we couldn't go to Moscow, Moscow was only going to be for about 10 to 11,000 people. Now, and I think it's a blessing in disguise, because now it's going to be live. And somebody asked you about Kitmar. Kitmar is going to help do the graphics for Eventi. It's going to be just fantastic with the ability that they have. So Eventi live, I think it's coming in beginning of October. So look out for that. Get on that, because that's literally where you're going to need to have your seatbelts on, because that is going to be a launch platform like no tomorrow. There's going to be, I guess, 10 times more out of that than what people were expecting October last year. It's just really, really exciting. So get into these, mark those dates in your calendar, get on board with this, and just make it happen, everybody. Really, really exciting moving forward. So anyway, that's me over and out. And who knows, we might come and do this again soon. Let's see what happens.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. Neil, thank you so much for your time. We are all out. So guys, watch the video. The YouTube, Facebook links up there. That's where you get them. Thank you, Neil. And bye from Elena as well. She had to put her child to bed, so she's gone as well. So guys, thank you for being here. Bye-bye. Well done for being here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you later.